everybody. What up, OG? Good to see you in the chat, man. What's going on? I'm sitting here messing around with these mic settings. See if I can't get a better balance in terms of like mic and just blasting everybody's ear. See if I can hear this back. Well, that sounds alright. That's not too terrible, right? Hold on. At least I don't think it is. Good morning, Janessa. What's up? How you doing? So last week, not last week. It wasn't last week. Definitely wasn't last week. I guess I'm a time traveler now. Shit. Anyway, on Tuesday, this is where we left off. We had this track. Let's run this back real quick, and I wonder if the volume is going to be okay on that. Let me see. Got myself a chai tea this morning. Duncan did not do a good job. Ugh. I feel like I'm drinking syrup. And that is basically the loop. That's our 8-bar. So today I'm going to spend my time arranging this into a possible track. Oh, what's this? Oh, this is like our original sketch. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. I like to save these because you never know, if you swing back, you might pick up on a piece of this that you might want later, or a piece that I don't know, could turn into something else that you can end up like sampling. You know what I mean? In a sort of way. There's also somebody was telling me that they use old tracks that they didn't do anything with to make sample packs now. And I thought, that is not a terrible idea. That is not a terrible idea at all. Let's see here. The first thing I'm going to do is get rid of some of the stuff I'm not actually using. At least I'm not using at the moment, right? So that way it's easier for me to navigate my arranger window without feeling like I'm looking at a million things. I did not end up using Key Suite. That is really low. Oh, okay, that's right, because this is at -6, right? So, oh, it's got synth warmer on it. Okay, that's a little bit too much, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep that one in there just in case there's like a part I want to add a lick to. Pause. First one of the day. All right, so let's see. We didn't use any strings, did we? No brass yet. I have a feeling I would use that at the end for what I would call the sting, but since I did not do it yet, I'm gonna take it away just so I can again focus on just arranging what I have in front of me. Again, this is like, so the effects I use here are for transitions usually. Oh wait, no. That kind of shit, you know. What's this set to? Some weird stuff like that. You can use it in conjunction with what's going on. It doesn't, you know, if you use it by itself, it sounds weird. But if you use it within context, it's pretty good. But since I have not put any of that down yet, I'm going to turn this off too, because I just want to just look at exactly what I need to look at in order to arrange what we have. And typically I have a demo track folder in here because if I'm going to mix, I want to bring in something that I like the sound of, right? So that would live in this folder and be routed a certain way so I could just hear it without it being manipulated. And that's the layer section of Studio One, by the way. That's pretty cool. If I open the mixer, you'll see that the mixer looks a little bare now. That's because when you turn off visibility here, it turns off in the arranger track, the arranger area, and it also turns it off in the mixing area. But when I say turn off, I mean visibility, right? The stuff is still active. So if, for instance, if I wanted to not use this perk instrument right now, I would actually go into my instruments. Or no, these are my. Here we go. Yeah, and then I would find which sample one that is, and I would deactivate it from here first or disable it. But in this case, I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to turn this stuff off so I have more visibility. So that's another neat thing about Studio One, though. If you didn't know that, now you do. Okay, so now back to our loop. It's all right. That's good. Everything's playing right. I'm gonna open the arranger window. That is open already. We have our 8 bars, and there's our first ad of the day. It's not gigantic anymore. We're at 155, right? So, all right. I'm just gonna duplicate this, and I'm gonna use half of a bar for an intro because I don't like to do very much for intro stuff. I like to have like a moment that kind of like, brings you into the track and then gets you going right away. Depending on the genre, right? But like for this type of track, I wouldn't want it to just be like half a bar. So I'm gonna move this over, and this will be either the first verse or the first hook. I'm not yet sure exactly what it'll be yet. But I'm gonna call this little portion here the intro, and this will be our first verse. So since we're at 155, I mean, I guess I could do a 16 bar verse, but I don't think I want to. Let me see something. Yeah, I'm gonna make it 16. So in this case, I'm just gonna make this super long, so I don't have to do all this counting of myself real quick, and then I'm gonna trim that back, so that'll be 16. Right. So now that you have that in place, everything is still there, right? So this is the neat thing about using the arranger track. So I got that under the verse. I can just move this over here, and then I can come in and call this hook or chorus, whatever or language you want to use, right? And I'm going to turn that into a red because that's where all the heat's going to be at. It's going to be, where we're cooking with gas and you got all the elements in there, and this will be the verse, and we're going to say, just use this yellow and be like, hey, be cautious. Don't use all that shit at one time, you know what I mean? Maybe hold something back. Okay. Sorry. The next part, I'm going to grab these two and dupe them over again. And this all looks the same, I know, at the moment, but we're getting there. So we got that here. So we got verse, chorus. And if I wanted to, I can just end there, honestly. But I'm going to add like a little something in between before we hit into that last hook here. I think what I want to do is have about 4 bars of something different, right? I'll just call this break. And then we'll just go ahead and make it a light blue right there. That's a cool down area. That's what we'll call that. And then one more little part here, and we'll just say this would be the sting ending. And it's usually something that you have in, in a sync track. It's not really something that you worry about in a lot of other tracks. In other tracks, you'd probably be like, oh, this is the outro, or this is where I'm wrapping up, or some shit like that, right? The colors don't mean much beyond like this is me visualizing what I have, What up, 77 Social? Welcome to the stream. I think it's Control and Alt. Yes, Control and Alt will get me that. And so what we're gonna do now is, wait, is it just Control? Or is it just? Come on, man. Well, there's a shortcut that I've forgotten there for that, but whatever. We're going to just start soloing stuff and see what sounds good to have as like the verse. I like that as like an intro idea, right? So, but I don't think I want um, those, you know, the repeated pattern thing to be going in the first verse. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate that over, keep that in the intro area right there. So when we come back to our intro, yeah, okay, and that'll lead me in. And so here, I'm just gonna go ahead and just delete this from here. I don't want an 808 right now coming into the verse. I don't want the wee-oo either. Alright, so let's get rid of the same things here. Where's that 808? That pesky 808. There we go. I think I might actually make that intro 2 bars instead, because that seems pretty short. I didn't really feel good there. Let me go ahead and grab this and move this over, extend this, boom, and now yep, alright, that feels good to me there. But again, you can see how handy the arranger track can be, because if you have yourself what you consider to be a solid idea to start with, in terms of like an 8-bar loop or 16-bar loop, you can just start laying stuff down and actually fleshing out a whole track. Bass wise, I don't know. I'm just mute this for now and see how that feels. The snare, it feels pretty hot, huh? What is doing the, is that Anna 2 here? Is that Bill? Yeah. Alright, so I think I'm gonna mute the piano actually in here. You see how much space it like opens up for that? That sound, that snare. The snare starts sounding like it's at 3,500 in terms of volume level. Alright, and so here, I know that sounds a bit dry right now, but if I come to my mixer and do some trickery real quick. First of all, let me get rid of the... I don't want this right now. What am I going to do this on? Am I going to do it on the mix bus? I don't believe I want to do it on the mix bus. Yes, I will do it on the mix bus, just because, for expedience sake. Let's see, tape stop from kilohertz. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in here behind what I have that at. And you can't see that because the VST opened on the other window. Here we go, boom. So, boom. Okay. That'll be what we're going for, kinda, sorta. I'm gonna turn automation on that, and you will see where we are going. I'm going to use the last portion of the bar to do that, actually. And go bring this down. Boom. Tape stop is going. Tape stop is not going now. Okay, but I want my stop time to be longer. Maybe I'll put this curve in here. And actually, I'm going to bring it back. I want this to start here. I don't think, yeah, I do need that one actually. And there we go. I might add something to that. I'm not sure yet. I'm just gonna have this be here. And start time, I'm actually gonna change that. I don't want the start time to take that long. I want this to like go right in there. Pause. Okay, we want that whole back end section there to take to do that. Feels like it's rushing. And I'm gonna add another little like kind of effect layer there to help with that transition, but this is just kind of to get me going. And those little snares hits right there help a lot to bring into the next section, but I don't think I want my bass to be hitting yet. There, I want the bass to come in here. I'm gonna just go ahead and dump it from here. I'm gonna just dump this too. And let's see, because we're just climbing up to the energy, right? Building up to the energy, and then we're going to steal the energy away. At least that's the hope. All right, and then from there, I'm gonna steal the energy from those snares. Well, not steal the energy from the snares. I'm gonna steal the energy from everything else. Cut them short. Let's see. Bring this back. Bring this back here. What is this? That's the piano. Let me see what it sounds like with the piano going still into this area. There we go. All right, and then that'll bring us into our hook, just like that. All right, so I'm gonna take away this, and I'm gonna take away that from there, because that gives us like a perfect little section buildup, right? So we go from having no 808, no bass, no piano, no kick, right? We just have our hi-hats, our snare, and then a little bit of the melody from Anna 2. Go in there, we bring in the piano. The next 4 bars in, we bring in the bass, we drop out, we got a snare transition, which helps a lot with not having to add like some weird like sound effects that maybe you don't like at first, but then you kind of treat them until you do like. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but sometimes it's cool to just use the percussion to help bring in the next section, right? we come in heavier with you know, the 808s added all of a sudden. That brings that energy in to the start of the hook. You drop in with our we use, and then we're gonna come into the next verse and steal away that energy again. So in this verse section, I already know that I don't want basically this rhythmic sound here. I think I'm gonna bring that in the last hook, honestly, or actually bring it in here to bring it back into the track to bring the energy back in for it. So I'm gonna take that away from here. I know I don't want the we use, or maybe I will on the back end of the first part of that verse. 808s are going away again. Not sure about the hi-hats yet. Oh, we have our two, got you. So we have two layers of hi-hats going. So I'm gonna mute one of those coming into that. I should have did that here in the verse too. Let's do that, because that helps a lot with the energy, I think. Energy building, I should say. And what are we coming back into? So in this case, let's take away our snare in this time around. All right, so I don't want the we use at all. I'm gonna bring this back to this point, I think. Is this what we're talking about here? Yeah, okay. All right, that's cool. But maybe I don't need the bass there. And then we actually bring our snare back in here. So I'm gonna unmute that. And I'm gonna unmute this as well. And I'm gonna make a variation on that in the snare here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. To see. Okay, here we go. So that's there. And I want this to not be here. I want it to be, or do I want it to be like a double hit? No, that is not the sound that we are looking for. We'll just make it a double step. That is off. That is off. Big time. Why is that off? We're here. Huh. Weird. Actually, let me bring this one over and see if that does it. Okay, so that's on that variation. I'm gonna turn this off. That worked out fine. I don't think that brings it in the way I want to, though. It doesn't really hit the way I want it to hit. So I'll look for something else there. I'm gonna go ahead and add to the kick variation, I think, in this case, to help bring that in. Because it's already there, right? And what are we using for our kick? For our kick, we're just using the piano roll, so that makes it easier to actually add to that. I mean, I don't know if it really needs anything, honestly, because it's got a nice little flow to it already there. Let's see, coming out of the energy of the hook there. Maybe the piano doesn't hit it first. It's the kick. All right, so I'll take away that first hit, and it'll be What happens if I take this away too? Yeah, okay. So that would actually bring us here. Interesting. All right, I don't want all this shit here. So I definitely don't want, again, I was saying I was going to bring these over into this section, right? So that's going to happen there. And I'm going to turn on event effects for that, probably. But that has the 808 in it, right? So that's bringing hook vibes. We don't want hook vibes yet. Would it have the piano here? What would happen if I drop piano out for this part too? Yeah, this doesn't help. So this is why I was saying I might bring in the keys to help me add something. So maybe. We're gonna hit this, and let's just go. Throwback Thursday, huh? That's got me cracking up. Throwback Thursday. It sure is. You're taking requests. What you want to hear? You want to hear some Joe? You want some Naughty by Nature? Some Casey and JoJo? That's before a lot of your times. Naughty by Nature was a jam, man. That was like, oof. I remember when Naughty by Nature came out and Hip Hop Array and OPP and all that stuff was dropping. People in my school didn't know how to behave themselves. Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. 77 Social knows what's up. Now what I'm looking for. Let me just loop this little area right here and play around with this for a second. Let's see if I have enough there. Yeah, so I can use the back end. Modern problems require modern solutions. There we go. So we're going to come into, that's the back end of the verse, right? Right. So I said I was going to bring that in to bring some more interest into the track. This is at 55. Trim this back here. Boom. Bob. All right, so we come from our hook. Yep, and then we're gonna stop probably right here. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and just go event bounce selection. So that way I can trim this and trim it for real. Do we want to do that much of it? Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so this is what we are working with at the moment. It's 9:41, so I got like 19 more minutes, or probably 15 more minutes to actually arrange this into somewhat of a full track before we push it to the next stream. And I think the next stream will be me taking the stems from this and mixing it. So I might be fleshing out the arrangement a little bit more in between there because we got some downtime and some holiday breaks and stuff, right? So it might change a bit. That's not where I want to be. There we go. I think I need to add some more, more of like a distinction break at the beginning between the first verse and the hook, first hook. but I like where this is at the moment. This is feeling good. This is usually where I would probably start layering like transition sounds and stuff to spice up from going from section to section. Like right there, I'd probably add like a little cymbal or something, or some like wind chimes, some little magical stuff. Yo, speaking of fresh hooks, I was listening to some old Cash Money stuff, man. Manny Fresh was like, who's that dude? Man could make a beat. God damn. Look at that beautiful ad up there. Not paying me no money. See, I like this, how we come back in, we take away, build it back up. And this is gonna sound really good once you start adding like the glue and everything to the track and getting the mix together, get the drums mixed. So right now our track is about a minute, so it's probably gonna be like a little bit over 2 minutes long. This is actually pretty good. It doesn't feel too stagnant. It doesn't feel like it's too much of the same over and over again, and that's kind of what you want to go for, you know, like you want some freshness. You get that 8-bar hook going and then you can keep it fresh for 2 minutes. That's something I'm saying. One thing that would help a lot is if during the break I bring in like a new instrument or a new sound, a separate melody. And kind of, I am doing this sort of transition thing from here to here. We're using the vibe keys because they come over with this little rhythmic element, and then that little tail end pause that helps a lot. There's a lot of stuff I've learned recently about arrangement, and then putting into practice in my my current tracks, I should say, that I, don't have any stuff that I put out maybe not long ago, and I'm like, damn, wish I could go back and put those things out again. But here we are. And as you can see, the original idea is still up here at the beginning. Like, I didn't take it away. I just decided to work on the back half of the track and do the arrangement that way, just to show like, hey, you know what? Forget all this like trying to stay in order thing. Because sometimes when people get into a DAW, a digital audio workstation, for those who don't know the language, they get caught up in, where's this thing at on the timeline? What am I doing? If you know the grid, know how to count, know how long something is, you can make it work, just use what you got to your own advantage and make some music, man. That's going to change to something else, something more dynamic. I'm probably going to use some snares there to bring it in like a snare roll. Anyway, it is 9:47. Lou, Life, Jennings, Ross, Fishburne, Buster, BET, Rhymes, Bellow, music time. Oof. God damn. I can't do your voice. I know your voice. I just can't do it because that's just I can't do that one. But damn, man, that's a long ass. The name doesn't get any shorter or longer, no matter how many words they decide to add to it. It just feels like it's the same length every time, even though it isn't. Maybe it's the syllables. Lou, Life, Jennings, Rawls, Fishburne, Buster, BET, Rhymes, Bellow, Music Town. All right, y'all. That's it for this one. I'm gonna catch y'all again. I don't know. Like Tuesday is the 4th, and that is my birthday. So I'm not sure yet. So if anything, that'll be like a last minute stream if I decide to do it. Probably in the morning. I'm not sure yet, but I'll let you know. If anything, you can say I'll be here on Thursday for sure on the 6th. So if I don't see you or I don't talk to you, I hope you guys have a good weekend, good holiday, and I'll catch you next time, all right?